All right, hi everyone. Thanks for coming back. This week we're going to be doing some work on algebra, okay? So my plan this week is to look at units 14 and 15 from the cloud port. So that's going to be basic algebra, just looking at the difference between what an expression, equation and formula is, and then moving on quite quickly to some algebraic manipulation. Working with basic algebra, we'll be doing some substitution, expanding single brackets, and then factorizing single brackets as well. So we're working on units 14 and 15. This is for higher and foundation tier papers. So let's get straight on with it. So unit 14, algebra, I just want to take you through some of the terminology. We have an expression in algebra. An algebraic expression is actually just something that looks like this, okay? It's made up of a couple of terms and some operations, okay? So, oh, can we mute? Could I ask you to mute? Because I'm getting some feedback from, that's great, thank you. So, yeah, so a couple of terms. A term is just a number and a letter together like this, or it could just be a number, or it could just be a letter like X or Y, something like that. So, and then we have the operations as well. So that's an expression. To turn it into an equation, all we need to do is add the equals sign. So an equation is something that can be solved, all right? It has an equals sign and it can be solved. So we look then at anything like this. I'm sure you've seen and solved many equations before. So the difference between an expression and an equation is simply that it can be solved. It has an equals sign there. This is a linear equation here. And then we'll be moving on to look at some formulae as well. And a formula is something like this. We have lots of letters and variables within it, and they all basically mean something. So they're always going to have something to do with kind of a real life situation. So this one you may have seen before and recognized. This is the formula for a straight line graph, a linear equation it's called. Where each letter in here, the Y and the X, represent the coordinate. And then we have the M, which represents the gradient of the graph, and the C, which represents the intercept. And we'll be looking a lot more at this in a future lesson as well. But so a formula is basically where we just have a variety of variables where they represent something in real life. I'm sure you've come across many of those. Okay, so we're going to spend today concentrating on algebraic expressions. We're going to be looking at substitution, so substituting into algebraic expressions. We're going to be looking at expanding and factorizing into and out of brackets, okay? Right, so for substitution, the most important thing with substitution is that you always consider what's called the order of operations. You may know this better as BIDMAS or BODMAS, or some, if you've ever studied in America, it will be PEMDAS. But basically, always consider working with your brackets first, then your indices, then divide, multiply, add, and subtract. Okay, so substitution will be something that looks like this. We have an example here. Find the value of C minus 2AB when A is 5, B is -1, and C is 20. And the order of operation is always super important. So if we were going to substitute these values here into this expression, we're going to be making sure that we put brackets around that 2AB. The 2AB comes before that subtraction in BIDMAS, okay? So it's really important that we do that multiplication before we do the subtraction. By putting those brackets in, it just makes sure that you don't make any mistakes, that you will be doing that there. So do those brackets first. We've got 2 multiplied by 5, that's 10. Times that all by -1, so that's -10. And then we can go ahead and solve that. And hopefully you remember that if we have a negative and we subtract a negative from a negative, it actually becomes a positive. So that's going to just be 20 plus 10. All right, so I'm hoping you'll participate with me if we do some practice on this. I'm going to throw out some questions there. If you're feeling brave, please feel free to pop answers into the chat, okay? Here we have just a multiplication one. So we have, what is y equals 7x if x is 10? Have a go. Pop an answer in the chat if you're feeling up to it, or even unmute yourself and tell me if you're feeling it. Great. So if x is 10, then we're going to do y equals 7 multiplied by 10 there. So that's y is 70. Well done. To see a correct answer. Let's have another go. Y is 13 plus b. This time b is 7. So we've got an addition this time. I want to see more names coming up in the chat. You're really great to see some answers. Yay, excellent, well done. So we've got 20. All right, here we go. Y equals 2q minus 9. Two operations here. We have to do the multiplication and the subtraction. 2q minus 9. And quick mental maths out. Great, well done. That was super quick.
Amber, can you go ahead and just read out the answer a little bit clearly, since it's being recorded for people who won't get to see the chat?
Of course, I'm sorry.
And we can even give kudos to people like Tabitha and Semsi are getting all the right answers in.
Yes, excellent. Yeah, great. Sure. Okay, so this one was obviously 2 times q, that's 2 times 8, 16. Subtract 9, we've got 7. The answer is here. Okay, so I can actually write them up actually for you. So people on the chat can see them as well. So have a go at this one.
Yeah, that's a good idea to scribble it on the screen when it's done. That'd be great. Thank you.
Super fast. Well done. So this time we've got 50. Oh, we don't want yellow though, do we? Not going to be able to see that very well. We've got 50 minus, and then we have to remember to do this multiplication first. That's 5 times 9. So that's 50 minus 45, which is going to be 5. Okay, well done, Semsi, getting in there really quickly with that answer. And let's move on to the next one. Okay, going down at the bottom of the screen here. 8t plus 11. If t is 4, what's the answer going to be here? Great. Fantastic. Well done, Semsi. Yeah. So I'm just going to throw that one out there. That's going to be 8 multiplied by 4. 8t is 4 there. Plus 11. That's 32 plus 11, which is 43. Okay. Correct answer there. Well done. Good to see some people participating in the chat. Thank you for doing so. Okay, next one we're going to come up with is, we've got a bracket here, so think about what you need to do first. We've got 12 multiplied by w plus 2 when w is 6. Give a couple more minutes. Who can remember their 12 times table? Excellent. Great work, Semsi. Well done. So that's going to be 12 multiplied by, we're going to substitute that w there for a 6 plus 2. That's going to be 12 then multiplied by 8, which is indeed 96. So throwing you back into your times tables here. Okay. Right. This time we are going into the world of negatives. 3r minus 10 when r is equal to 3. Oh, that was super quick. Great. I'm going to give everyone else a chance to have a go. Nice. Oh, yeah, well done, Tabitha. 2 correct answers there in the chat, so I'll give the answer here. We've got 3 times by r, so that's 3 multiplied by 3. Subtract the 10 then. 9 minus 10 is indeed -1 there. Well done. I think we've just got a couple more of these. A fraction one, okay, so we've got a dividing and then a subtract. So think about the order of operations there. Brilliant, really quick, well done. Well done, Tabitha, well done, Samsy, good. Some correct answers in there. So substituting that 30 into that fraction, 30 divided by 3, take away the 8 there. We have got 10 minus 8, which is 2. And I think there's just one more of these to do. Here we go. So we've got a negative this time. We're going to substitute a as negative 2 into here. Great, excellent, correct answer in the chat there. Okay, oh good, 2 correct answers in the chat. I'm going to go ahead then and I'm going to put the answer up here. So if we substitute a as a minus 2 in, we have minus 2 minus 4 divided then by 3. Now this one is a little bit weird because actually we do have to do the subtraction before we do the division. Even though BidMaths tells us to normally divide before, because they are both on top of the fraction like this, it's essentially the same as having some invisible brackets around them. So we have to do that division first. So we're going to have minus 6 divided then by 3, which is negative 2. So well done to Tabitha and Samsy for correct answers in the chat there. And I think, oh, we've got one more. There we go. We've got a square here. So powers come before adding in BidMaths. So have to think about how to do this one. For anyone that's not very clear, it says f squared plus 7 when f is 5. I hope that's clear enough. Oh, great. A couple of really quick answers in the chat. Well done. Yeah, fantastic. Well done. So 5 squared plus 7. 5 squared is 25 plus 7, which is 32. Not just your algebra, also challenging mental arithmetic here as well. So, all right, great. Okay. And before we move on from substitution, I just wanted to do it super quickly. We've got some quick multiple choice questions, so everybody can participate this time. I'm going to do a poll. I think everyone here has been to a lesson before, a live lesson, so hopefully you all know how to use the polls. So here's one, and you can give me your A, B, C, or D answer. Just going to give you a moment to think about it. And then I'm going to launch the poll now. And so far I've got 2 people who have answered. Oh, 3 people. Okay, I have to see a moment. All right. Brilliant. 4 people, 100% correct answer as well. Absolutely fantastic. Looks like, oh, it looks like you've got this one, so that's brilliant. Okay, well done. All right, here's another one then. So if A is 11, what is 2A minus 1? Oh, I need to. Okay, just launched that poll again, so hopefully you can have a go. Great, quick, really quick answers coming in. Okay. Brilliant. Okay, so we have got 75% correct answer on this one. The correct answer here, 2 times A, 2 times 11 is 22. Subtract the 1 there is 21. So the correct answer is D here. Okay, so we got almost fully marked. I think just one person maybe incorrect mental arithmetic there. There's quite a lot to think about in your head when you're working these through. So let's have another go. We've got another question coming up. Square numbers, really important, you know your square numbers, so I always throw one in there. think I'm going to launch that in just a moment. Okay, that now. Okay, super quick. All 4 people have answered brilliantly. Okay, so we've got 9 squared. So 9 squared means 9 times 9. 9 times 9 is 81 there. Okay, so oh, we've got 5 people answering. We've got an extra person coming in. Brilliant. Okay, so really good to see that 80% correct there. So well done. Great work. Let's have another go. Okay, so think about inside the brackets first. I shall launch that poll. Some people super quick there on the answering. That's really great. Just give it another minute, see if we get a 5th person. Okay, I'm going to stop that there then. So, okay, brilliant. Almost fully correct there. 7 plus 5 is 12. We do the inside of the bracket first. Then we multiply it all by 2. So 7 plus 5 is 12. Times by 2 is 24. So the correct answer was B. Okay. Again, almost full marks there. We're going to do it one more time, see if we can go for 100%. Okay. So if A is 6, what is 3 lots of A minus 2? Remember, substitute that 6 into the brackets first, 6 minus 2, then multiply by 3. Okay, and I'm going to launch that poll now. Have a go. Oh, awesome, super quick. 5 out of 5, 100%, fantastic, well done. Really great to see that everyone's fully participating and getting it correct. So it's really, really good work, well done. I am going to move on. I think I've just got 1 more of these. Oh, maybe 2 more then. So we're going to think about which part of that mathematics we need to do first. We've got a multiplication and we've got a subtraction. So the multiplication is always going to come first. Okay, so substituting it in, 25 minus 2 times A. 2 times A needs to go first. Oh, I haven't launched the poll. Let me do that now. Sorry. There we go. There's 1 more person. Oh, yes, excellent. 5 people participated. Great. Well done. And correct answer there, 25 minus 2 lots of A. 2 times A is 8. So 25 minus 8 is 17 there. So well done. Really great work. And here's one last one with a square. We already know what 9 squared is. You did that earlier. Hopefully you can remember. Can we add another A on? I'm going to launch that now. Oh. How? 4 out of 4. Do we have a fifth person? Yes, brilliant. Okay, so last one on that topic, and we've got 5 people out of 5, 100% correct. Brilliant work, well done. Okay, I'm going to put that away for the moment. And the answer was 90. A squared, 81 plus A is 90, plus 9 is 90. Okay, so moving on from substitution is really important, and we will come back to it. But we now have multiplying out brackets. We saw some brackets within our substitution questions, and it's really important we can actually multiply them out. You might see a question like this in an exam, where you're asked to find an expression for the area of this rectangle. So hopefully you know that to find the area of a rectangle, you need to multiply the length and the width together. So we're going to be looking at doing 10 multiplied by this expression here, which is x plus 7. And that's where brackets are super essential, all right? Really important that we put this expression into brackets before we multiply it by the 10. So we're going to be doing 10 multiplied by x plus 7 like this. And when we multiply these out, we have to make sure we multiply that 10 by both terms within the brackets. So we're going to, we often draw arrows if you need to, just to remind yourself, 10 times x, which is 10x, and 10 times 7, which is 70. And this second part of the bracket is the part that people always tend to forget. So it's really important, remember, not just the first part, everyone remembers the first part, but to also multiply by the second part of the bracket as well. So that's 10x plus 70. So both parts of the brackets are really important. So I want to go through just a couple of examples there. I'm just going to talk you through these because it's just easier. Okay. So we are going to look here. We've got this 6 and we're multiplying it by everything in this bracket. So it's going to be 6 multiplied by 2n and 6 multiplied by a plus 4 there. So 6 times 2n is 12n. And then we've got 6 times plus 4. Always remember the second part of the bracket is 24 there. Apologies, it's not the neatest, but okay. If we have a negative, it's really important to include that negative in our working. So this time we're actually doing minus 3 times 2n. So minus 3 times 2n is going to be minus 6n. And then we've got minus 3 times positive 1 there. So it's actually a minus 3. So that's going to be minus 6n minus 3. Okay. Please do, I've got the chat open this time, so please do ask any questions, pop it into the chat or unmute yourself or just wave at me if you like. Otherwise, I'll just continue going through. Sometimes we will have a variable outside the bracket as well, and that still needs to be multiplied in. So we've got 3a times 2. So that's 6a. And we're going to multiply that by the second part of the bracket there, 3a times plus b, that's plus, and then 3ab, timesing these two variables together gives us ab there, okay? And finally, we've got a negative here and we've got a negative inside the bracket as well. So these ones, I would always sort of highlight this in an exam if I were you. Always just note to yourself, I've got 2 negatives, really important because they're very easy to forget to multiply them out. So we've got minus 2 times 3a there, that's minus 6a. And then we've got minus 2 times minus 4, which is plus 8. Okay, and negative times a negative is a positive. And then 2 times 4 is 8. All right. Any questions on that before we move on and have a go ourselves? Ready to have a go? Yeah, good. Okay, see some nods. All right, so let me clear those drawings. And I'm going to just do the same thing, the A, B, C, D, because it's just easier. So if you're multiplying this out, what is the correct expression? I'm going to give you a little bit longer. And here you go. So is it A, 3x plus 6? Is it B, 3x plus 2? Is it C, 3x plus 5? Or is it D, 5x? I feel like I'm on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Great, brilliant. 5 correct answers. Absolutely fantastic. Well done. So I'm just going to share that with you because it's super amazing. Well done. And all of you did that correct. So well done. Okay, hopefully we'll fly through this one then. I'm going to have another go. I'm going to speed them up if you're doing so well. So here you go. Remember the first and the second part. Brilliant. Okay, this is going well. Another 100% there. So fantastic. I think I need to speed through this then. Okay, see if we can get a roll. Here you go, speeding things up. Someone is super quick on that poll. Okay. Almost 100% now. Just missed out the last minute. So it's 4x minus 8 there. I think it might have just been a slip actually. There you go, the C there, 4x minus 8. Okay. So let's have another go. So we've got the x on the other side here. Doesn't make any difference. Still do the exact same thing. So still needing to multiply the first and the second part. 3 answers have come in so quickly. Really great. 4 answers in. Yes, brilliant. 5 out of 500%. Great to see. Well done. Okay, this is going well. So that one was 12 minus 3x. Right. I'm going to launch that poll straight away. There you go. So we've got 3 multiplied by 2x, and we've got 3 multiplied by minus 2 there. 4 people have come in straight away. Brilliant. Yeah. This one's going really well. Okay. Let's have a look at the next one. So yes, that was 6x minus 6 there. So correct, well done. Right, this one is a little bit different. I want you to be careful about your negatives. I might have to just give you a bit longer to think about this one. Okay. So I'm going to launch the poll and see. Great. Correct answer comes straight in. Oh, we've got a split group here. So, okay. I've got 3 different answers. So I'm going to go through this one then. So we have actually got negative 3 times 5x. And if we look at that, that's negative 3 times 5, which is minus 15x. Okay, minus 3 times 5 is negative 15 times the x there. And then we've got minus 3 times minus 2. So that part there is going to be plus 6. And it's a bit weird because actually that answer isn't directly on any of these, but it is still there because what's happened is that they've just been swapped around, and that will happen sometimes. It's not always that great to start an expression with a negative. So quite often if this as an expression starts with a negative, we'll just swap it around and bring it to the other side of the 6. So that's all that's happened there is we've got the positive 6 minus the 15x. And so the correct answer there was B. Okay. So well done. I don't know who it was, but someone got that correct. So well done to that person. And anyone else, I think that expanding the brackets is absolutely fine. Just be super careful with the negatives. They're the ones that can be easy to make mistakes on, okay? So just really think about negatives there. And here's another one. I've got an x times an x this time. So think about what x times x is carefully. Relaunch that one. Good. Great. Brilliant. So absolutely great. 5 people have answered. One mistake there. So just going to go through this. X times x is x squared. We did just get one person putting the 2x in there, which is easy to do. I'm going to make that neater. So timesing x by itself is x squared, and then x times 2 is your 2x there, plus 2x, okay? So that answer was B there. So well done to everyone that got that right. Okay. Oh, we've got one more, so you've got another chance at doing a similar one to that. Launch that now. 2, 3 correct answers coming in really quickly. Okay, brilliant. So 75% correct there. Just again here, this time actually the problem wasn't with this part, the x squared. So really good to see you getting that bit correct. But then, of course, 3x times 2 is plus 6x there. So the correct answer was D. Okay. So well done. And just to show a little bit more of an exam style, I'll just end that there. Okay. So just to show a little bit more of like an exam style using this, we would have more likely in an exam have something like this, where we're going to expand brackets and simplify them as well. So I'll go through the first one here quickly. Always start by expanding. The question will say expand and simplify, and you literally do that order. You start with the expand and then you simplify, okay? So 3 times p is going to be 3p. Then we have 3 times q, so we continue expanding that bracket. 3 times q is 3q. Expand the second bracket then straight away, so plus 2 times 4p, we've got 8p there. And then expand the second part. Don't forget we've got a negative here, so that's a minus 2 times q, which is 2q. So we've expanded all 4 terms to create this 4-term expression. And then we're going to simplify. So when we simplify, we're looking for the like terms. So we've got our p terms, 3p plus 8p. So that's going to be 11p. I hope that blue shows up clearly enough. And then I'm going to use a different color to show the q terms. We've got 3q minus 2q. So that part is just plus q. So the final answer there, I will just write it in black quickly, is 11p plus q. Okay, so we've expanded the brackets and then we've simplified it into its simplest form there. Okay. I've put one more in that just has some negatives because there's a lot of negatives in here. Really easy to make mistakes with negatives. So I'm going to go through this one. Again, I'll just change to a red. So 7 times minus a is going to be negative 7a. 7 times minus b is minus 7b. Then we've got, and be super careful, always sort of say to yourself, oh, I've got a negative here, so I need to be really aware of that. Minus 2 times a, which is minus 2a, and minus 2 times minus 3b, which is going to be plus 2 times 3 is 6b. Okay, so that minus and that minus there are going to give us a plus here. Easy error to make there. So going through. Then we're going to simplify that. So I'll choose blue for the a's again. We've got minus 7a, minus 2a. So that's minus 9a. Separating out the greens, the b's, sorry, I used green for the b's, minus 7b plus 6b. So that is going to be minus b there, okay? And the final answer for that one then is minus 9a minus b, okay? So that's a kind of quick lesson on expanding brackets. And I want to also during this lesson do the opposite, which is factorizing. Before I do does anyone have any questions or? Happy? Okay. Right, so clear that off and move on then. So factorizing is simply doing the exact opposite of what we've just been practicing, okay? So a question we might get in an exam is, if we've got a rectangle like this, what would the width be? Well, actually that should say the length, shouldn't it? Because the width is 3x there, sorry. So that should be, what is the length if the area of this is 3x plus 9, so x squared. So we're going to take this width, 3x, and we're going to multiply it by something to get the answer 3x plus 9x squared. So in order to do that, we basically need to think 3x is a common factor of both terms. We're going to divide both terms by this 3x. And we're going to have something where 3x comes outside of the brackets and we're left with an expression in the brackets here. So dividing both terms by 3x, we've got 3x divided by 3x, which is 1. And then this second term plus 9x squared divided by 3x, which is plus 3x. And so our final answer is 3x multiplied by 1 plus 3x. And one thing that you can do, and I always recommend if you were in an exam, you do this, is you actually check your answer by expanding. Most people are better at expanding than they are at factorizing. So you can check your answer by simply checking 3x times 1 is 3x. 3x times 3x is 9x squared. So we have got back to the answer. So it's always worth checking your answer as long as you have time in the exam, okay? By doing that. I'm going to go through a couple more of those. Clear those. Okay. So if we're asked to factorize 6a plus 8, we're going to end up with a common factor outside the brackets and then something inside the brackets. So the first thing we need to do is figure out what that common factor is. And the only number that goes into both 6 and 8, or the highest common factor, sorry, that goes into 6a and 8 is 2. So that's the number that comes outside of the brackets. So we divide both 6a by 2 and we divide 8 by 2. Okay, we get 3a plus 4. So the final answer there is going to be 2 multiplied by 3a plus 4. Okay. So let's have a look at another example. So we're factorizing 12 minus 9n. And here, again, we're looking for the highest common factor. Does anyone want to write in the chat what the highest common factor of 12 and 9n is? Oh, that was super quick. Well done, Tabitha. Yes. Okay. So 3 goes into both 12 and it goes into 9n. So that tells us that it must be 3 that comes outside of the brackets there. So we know that we can put 3 outside of the brackets. Then we can simply divide both parts by 3 to figure out what's inside the brackets. So 12 divided by 3 is 4. And 9n divided by 3 is 3n. So that's minus 3n. Okay. I'm just going to skip through that bit because there we go. Okay, can someone write in the chat for me what is the common factor of 3x plus x squared? Great, well done. Yeah, Tabitha. So the answer is x. This time we have a common factor of x. So it doesn't always have to be a number that's a factor. It could be a letter or a variable. So the highest common factor of 3x and x squared is x. Dividing both of those terms by x, then we get 3x divided by x is 3, and x squared divided by x is x. So that's what's going to be inside the bracket. So the total answer, the final answer, is going to be x multiplied by 3 plus x. Okay. And sometimes you'll have it where you've got more than two terms within your expression. So we're looking for a common factor here of 2p plus 6p squared minus 4p cubed. Anyone want to write in the... Okay, great, almost. I've got p so far in the chat, which is a factor. It's not the highest common factor. Have a look at the numbers as well. See if you can improve on that. We've got p is definitely a factor, so that is correct. Look at my numbers. I've got 2, 6, and minus 4. So what else is a factor? Brilliant. Yeah, well done. So the highest common factor of this is 2p, because 2p goes into each one of those terms. Okay, so that's why we can, if we look for the highest common factor, then we can get straight to the final answer correct, like quickly, basically. So if we already said the highest common factor of 2p, 6p squared, and 4p cubed is 2p. So now we need to divide each term by 2p. So we're going to divide 2p by 2p, and we get 6p squared divided by 2p, and we get 3p, and minus 4p cubed divided by 2p is minus 2p squared. Okay, so dividing 6 divided by 2 is 3, and p squared divided by p is p. Minus 4 divided by 2 is minus 2. And p cubed divided by p is p squared. So just break that down a little bit there. So that tells us that by factorizing, we've got 2p outside the brackets. That's our common factor. And inside the brackets, we've got 1 plus 3p minus 2p squared. Okay, any questions before we move on and have a go at doing these? Should we launch our poll again and do that? Multiple choice. So first thing I want you to do here is look for the common factor, take it outside the brackets, and then divide the two terms by what's in the brackets, or what's left, by your common factor, if you want. And okay, so is it going to be A, B, C, or D? Great. Got 4 people answered. I'll just give you another minute. All right, so we've got, most people have answered correctly. We've got 60% correct answer. All of you, oh, almost all of you, got the correct common factor. So the common factor is 3. Okay, so we need to take 3 outside of the brackets. And then what's left? So 3x divided by 3 is x. And 6 divided by 3 is 2. So our final answer was 3 times x plus 2. So C was the correct answer. So that was 3 out of 5 of you. So well done. We'll move on. We'll have another go. I'll clear my drawings. I'll end that. And I'm going to give you a moment. So think about your common factor first. Tricky one. Think about your highest common factor. There's more than one factor of 4 and 12. Think about your highest common factor. Oh, super fast. It's looking really good. We've got 4 correct answers in so far. Brilliant, well done. So 5 correct answers, well done. So really great to see. The correct answer there was D. Common factor was 4, take it out of the brackets, and then we've got x plus 3 left. So really well done to everybody. Okay, common factor here, take it outside the brackets and then see what's left. I'm going to launch that poll, have a go. So find the common factor, take it outside of the brackets, and then see what's left. Brilliant. 3 correct answers coming in straight away. We can get 2 more. Okay, so I have had one person give say A, which actually is a factor. So 10x and then 10 times 3.5 does actually expand to this. However, we do always want to have a whole number within the bracket. So although that is correct because 10 times x is 10x and 10 times 3.5 is 35, we do want the inside of the bracket to be a whole number there. So the correct answer was not A there. I'm just waiting to see if that last person comes in. I think maybe not with this one, that's fine. So I will go through that now. Okay, so our common factor of this one is 5, because 5 is the highest number that goes into both 10 and 35. So we've taken 5 outside of the brackets there. And then what's left? 10x divided by 5 is 2x, and 35 divided by 5 is 7. So the correct answer was C. So really well done. Most people got that. Let's have another go. And to launch that now. Oh, wow, super quick answers. Okay. All right. 4 out of 4 people have answered, so I'm going to end that now. And yeah, so common factor this time is 3. So we're taking 3 outside of the brackets. Only 3, we didn't have the x in both, so we can only bring 3 out here. If we wanted to bring the x out as well, we would need to have x in both terms there. And then what's left? We've got 3x divided by 3 is x. 18 divided by 3 is 6, so minus 6 there. Okay, correct answer there was A then. Okay, so this time we have got an x squared and it's 6x. Don't forget that x squared means x times x. It means x times x. So we've got 2 lots of x there. We've got x times x there, and we've got 6 times x here. So think about what your common factor is. And then very carefully divide both by that common factor. And I'll share that poll now. So Okay, so divided group again, we've got 3 of you saying D and we've got 2 of you saying B. So we're going to have a go at this one. Common factor here was X. We've got X times X here. So that means that X goes into both terms and 6 times X here. So we take that out of both terms. Then we're going to do X squared divided by X here. So that's going to be left with just 1X. And then 6X divided by X here is plus 6. So we've got X squared plus 6X. Okay, you can always double check your work by actually going back and expanding it. So if you're not entirely sure, expand what you've done and see if you get the answer, because they are opposites of each other. So the correct answer there was D. All right, X times X plus 6. Very similar one here. So let's have a go at doing this one. Okay. Oh, sorry, I didn't end the poll. I hope you can see okay. There you go. And going to launch that right now. Okay. Oh, quick answers. Yeah, good. Okay, brilliant. So almost fully correct. A couple of you have given me that we've taken X squared out of the brackets. So just this one here is X squared, which is X times X. This one here is 4X, which is 4 times X. So our common factor is X. We have X in both of those expressions. We don't have an X squared in both of those expressions because this one has 2 X's, this one has X times X, but this one only has 1X. So we can only take X out of the brackets. So if we take X out of the bracket, then it's just finding out what's left in the bracket. So X squared divided by X, well, if we divide X times X by 1X, then we're just left with 1X there. And then if we divide 4X by X, we have 4. So it's X times X plus 4 there. Okay, so the correct answer was B, which was the majority of the votes. So well done. And again, we've got another similar one. So let's see, have a think about this one. Oh, to end it again. Okay. Just give you a minute to think about this one before I launch it. I'm going to launch that now. So we've only got a few minutes left of the lesson. So, okay. Okay, brilliant. Fantastic. That was super quick. 5 out of 5 correct answers. So really well done. Hopefully, I think people have got that. So really great to see. So well done, 100% on that one. And let's see if we can do that again. See if we can get 100% again. 2 factors in this, 2 factors. So look at your numbers and look at the letters. Okay, so make sure you've considered the factors of 2 and 6, as well as the factors of X squared and X. I'm going to launch that now. More person thinking. All right. Okay. So 80% correct, 4 out of 5 correct there, which is really great because this is quite a tricky one. But there are 2 factors. The number 2 goes into both 2 and 6. So number 2 is a factor because we've got here, this one, we've got 2 times x times x. And this one, we've got 6 times x. Now 6 is actually, 2 is a factor of 6 as well as a factor of 2, because 6 could be written as 3 times 2 times x. So if we consider it that way, we can see that we've got 2 in both and we've got x in both terms there. So 2x is what we needed to take outside of the brackets. And actually, by process of elimination, we can see then that the answer is B, because it's the only one with 2x that has come out of the brackets. So we've got 2x there. But let's just finish it off. Let's look at what we've got left. So if we take that 2, the x and the x, and we divide by 2x, all we've got left on this side is x. And then if we take that 6x and we divide by 2x, well, you can see by breaking it down into 3 times 2 times x, that if we divide by the 2 and the x, what we have left is 3. So hopefully that helps there, okay? And so the final answer there was B, okay? So I think that's it. I think I'm gonna end there. So that was a very quick sort of sum up of chapters or units 14 and 15. In 2 weeks' time, we'll be back. We're going to be looking further into algebra. So we're going to be starting to look at quadratics, expanding double brackets, factorizing double brackets, and then hopefully some equation solving as well. So if you've struggled with anything today, do make sure that you have a go at just review the video, have another go, and make sure you're really confident with what we've done today so that you're ready for a bit more deeper algebra next time. And I'm going to stop there. That you found it helpful anyway. It's been great to have this session, and hopefully I'll see you in 2 weeks' time. Thank you for attending, and thank you so much for taking part in all the polls and everything.